State with the highest obesity rate passes an anti-Bloomberg ban to regulate food. Now, this story, it's mind-boggling, right? Mississippi, where about 1 in 3 adults are at least 30 pounds heavier than the healthy weight, isn't on board with New York's Mayor Michael Bloomberg's attempt to combat obesity rates, but by regulating large sugary drinks. In fact, the lawmakers in Mississippi want to be absolutely certain that their local officials won't implement the same kind of public health initiatives. A bill awaiting the governor's signature would prevent any Mississippi county from taking steps to address the obesity epidemic by regulating the food and beverage industry. A bill now on the governor's desk. And this bill was pushed forward. This bill was pushed by the food and beverage industry. And basically what it says is that no county can regulate what food or drink people intake. Now, the job of government is to protect the citizens, right? And I would argue that protecting the citizens from fatty foods is a good thing, especially when 1 in 3 or 1/3 or 33% of this population is morbidly obese, 30 pounds heavier than the healthy weight. They're the fattest fattest state in the country. Yet still, they think it's good policy to stop people to allow people to eat whatever they want and eat themselves into oblivion. Now you put that, like I said, you know how I feel about these things, America. You can't look at this in a vacuum. You also look at this fact that this is one of the few states that aren't accepting the healthcare exchange. So when these people get fat and morbidly obese, they are going to get healthcare because the federal government's getting the exchange, but the state doesn't even embrace having some sort of healthcare system so these people can get the health that they need. Understand, America, obesity is a health issue. Obesity is a disease. When you eat yourself into oblivion, or when you have that extra Kit Kat when you're 30 pounds overweight, that's a disease. That is a problem. That problem needs to be helped. Anybody, America. Whether it's the government, the church, charities, everybody needs to do their part to make sure that we become a skinnier and more healthier country. Because let me tell you something. For the fact that a lot of these Republican state legislators believe in prosperity and believe that every American should have access to the American dream, when you're 30 pounds heavier, that dream is 30 pounds farther away. It's just that simple. What we need in this country is we need to understand that the only way we can make this country better is by making sure that people make the right decisions and the right choices. And the only way they can make the right choices is they have somebody who's educated about this process, not necessarily the government, because then I know people are going to comment, the government doesn't educate people. I hear you. You're right. But we have a lot of experts, whether they work for the government or they work at universities or they're doctors or nurses. You trust them to make healthcare decisions for you. And one of those decisions is to help you make the right food choices. And if the government can help or the government can assist in that process, they should. And that is exactly what's happening in New York City. And that is clearly that's not what's happening in Mississippi. They will continue to eat trans fats, saturated fats, sugary drinks, fatty drinks, and enough Twizzlers and Sketty, which is Honey Boo Boo's favorite meal, to just kill people, to kill the citizens of that state. It's a crying shame, if you ask me. Crying shame. But what's not a crying shame is you subscribing to our YouTube page. I know that was shameless. Yes, you can laugh at me later. Go ahead and press the subscribe button below.